Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. Thank you for joining us on episode 333 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor. How's it going, Trevor?
Hey, pretty good. I didn't realize it was episode 333. That's
kind of a fun place to start for the year, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's I don't know, something about when like all the numbers line up. Like it's not like a round number, but it's just like 333. It's like it's
kind of fun.
Yeah. It makes my brain happy.
It feels right. It's funny, Trevor. I didn't talk about this on the last episode when you were talking about sending the package, because I sent a package to you.
You did. Yes.
Here's what's funny though, right? And I don't think I told you this. I think I forgot to tell you this actually. But we had gotten you the popcorn bucket. You'd asked me to get the popcorn bucket from
which my wife loves,
Disney.
by the way. She does say thank you. So
well, this is why it's funny, right? Because you had asked me to get the popcorn bucket, but I didn't know whether this was going to be a surprise for your wife or not. Right.
Oh,
and so like I didn't know. I wasn't sure. Right. And when we were at the park and we got it, Karen, my wife, takes a picture of it and sends it to your wife, and then realizes, she goes, wait a second, was this supposed to be a surprise for her? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe.
It wasn't that. I would have said something. To be fair, I would have been up front. I would have been like, she doesn't know I'm doing this. So
okay, yeah. So that's good. I just had to laugh because we didn't talk about it on the show last week because I still didn't know if it was meant to be a surprise for your wife or not, and it hadn't gotten to you yet. And so I was like, I want to talk about this, but I also am like not sure if I'm ruining a surprise if I do so. So yeah.
No, it was great. She loved it. She knew it was coming, and she was excited when she got it. Because I mean, it's when we got it out of the box, it's a cool popcorn bucket. I like it.
Really is.
It fits into that. There's some popcorn buckets that are like, kind of goofy, or not goofy like in the character goofy, but like they are not presentation worthy, I guess. But that one, like.
You could use that as a Christmas decoration.
It looks like a toy. Like it looks like something I would have had as a kid as like a truck toy that I would have gotten, which I'm like, that's awesome. Like and like you said, it's very easily, we put it on our coffee table next to, we have a bunch of other Disney Christmas decorations on our coffee table. So it just went right there with it. And we were like, great, it can stay there, it's added to the Christmas ornaments. So thank you for getting that for us. Cause it was,
no
of course this, the 1 year that we decided to skip because we have our bigger trip going. It's like, of course they do the nice popcorn bucket that year. So I feel like maybe like, we just kind of started off into conversation, but maybe we should talk about
usually do though, right?
but we should talk about the elephant in the room, because I'm sure, people listening to this,
or lack of elephant in the room. I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay. So if you're listening to this episode, the opening probably sounds a little bit different.
Slightly.
And you're probably wondering why.
So all right. So let me explain why I said the elephant in the room, because some people probably thought I meant something different by that, and that I don't. So we've been doing the show for a long time, Trevor, right?
Yes.
And so I decided that heading into our eighth year, maybe, I don't know.
We've had the 7-8 years,
whatever it is. Yeah, because it was 20. Yeah, okay, whatever it is. We've had the same theme song for a long time, and we're not changing the theme song, by the way. The theme song stays the same. The difference now is I hired a band and a singer to do a cover version of our theme song, which is a song that is from the 1920s. So it's a very, very old song. It is a song that shows up in the Jungle Cruise queue. I don't know. I don't know if it still shows up in the Jungle Cruise queue today. I think it does.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah. But yeah, because
I know
we've had
I've heard it in recent years. Like I've been standing in the queue and been like, oh, there's the theme song. Like, so it's still as of like, I want to say like 3 years ago, it was still there.
Yeah, no. And I think we've had a listener to send us video of them in the queue with the song on. So yeah, so it's a song from there. And the intent of it has always been, to, take you to the Jungle Cruise queue. Cause I know it's one of my favorite attractions. It's a classic Disney attraction. And
and Adventureland is my vibe too. So that's why we kind of agreed on it, is that like, it was a very good, like, symbol of like Disney for both of us, I think. Yeah.
But we thought it was time to change it up a little bit, but also just have the song be our own, right? Have the song be, something that belongs to us, that, and because this song is so old, it is public domain, as far as like the actual music goes and the lyrics and all that stuff. So it does, it does that for us. Listen, for those of you who don't know, music or any sort of media on podcasts is a very tricky proposition, right? Just generally, right? And the laws around it are extraordinarily difficult to navigate. So we cut out the middleman, all this. We now own this song. This belongs to us, and it is our own version, and it's what we're going to be heading into the future with. And I hope everybody likes it. The reason I was joking about the elephant in the room, Trevor, is that while I was redoing this and changing things up, I seriously considered adding more animal noises to the background.
Besides, because we had talked about this and you were talking about adding like the boats and like you were gonna go all in with like
I was
full Jungle Cruise experience.
So I had obtained a sound of the Jungle Cruise motors, right? So everybody knows that when you're standing in the queue line in Jungle Cruise, you hear that like it's not a quiet attraction. It's old. It has old motors in it, like it's fairly loud, and you hear the vrooming sound, right? And so I had a recording of that, and I had initially kind of tucked it into the background of just the talking part, just the part where the where Albert Awol comes in, right? And that's I just decided it sounded good, but I also was like, are people going to know what this is? Because it just kind of sounds like background interference. But I'd also experimented with putting some lions in there, some elephants, just like because when you go to the jungle, you hear all those things right in the background. I was trying to evoke that same thing, but I kind of left it with the sounds we have now, which, if you listen carefully, there are some different animals in the background there, and most people probably don't notice because they probably skip over the beginning anyway, but it's all there. But anyway, we this is a new thing for us to do, and we wanted to change it up a little bit. And it's also just kind of cool that I was able to like just hire a band and be like, hey, make this really old song, and they just nailed it. They did. It like when you sent it to me, and it was like you're like listen to this. I listened to it like 3 or 4 times because it's great,
and I was like, it's really good. Like they really hit that feel of the song, like which when you think about it, like being able to emulate different eras of music is actually a very tricky thing.
It is
because we all you don't have the experience of like how music was recorded back then, but they did a really great job with it.
They really did, and I was so excited. I loved the original. Now, I mean the new version. I say the original new version because the new version sounded like a modern song, right? It had it's the same song and it's the old instruments, but none of the patina, so to speak, on the audio. Part of why we picked the song in the first place is the songs that you hear in the Jungle Cruise queue have that really old feeling to them. It's worn, you have the
record player that's been run so many times. Yeah,
exactly. It's the record's all scratched up and dusty, and you have static, and you don't get the full range of you don't get all that. So even though the one we got back before I made it sound old again, it just was so good, and I was just like, man, they really nailed it and knocked it out of the park. And I'm so glad we did this because it came out so great. So that's a little project I've been working on, and I hope everybody enjoys it. And I'm glad we can finally put it out there because I Here's my problem, Trevor, and I've talked about this before. With certain things, right? Like, so for the shows that we put out on a weekly basis. I'm not a perfectionist about those things, right? Like, there are times you hear Trevor and I saying, you hear us saying, using filler words and saying the wrong thing sometimes, and that's okay. We want this podcast to be real. But for production items like that, or like the Food Time songs, or like the graphics on the Food Time videos, I get a little crazy about. So like, I save all of my super detail oriented craziness for that stuff. And so even for this, we just had like a half hour long conversation before we started recording the show about how much we both like the song. I still am going to probably tweak it a little more, but just a little bit, a smidge, not a lot. The base is there. It's still probably going to be a little bit tweaked. But if you're hearing this right now, you probably noticed it is slightly different. But like I said, I think the result actually sounds more like the Jungle Cruise. It somehow sounds like an older song. It just feels like it has that feel to it,
and more so to that, I really like we used the song because, again, like, it was public domain and we were using somebody else's recording of it. I'm happy now that like besides all of the like it sounding authentic, I really enjoy the fact now that it's unique to us. It is something that we can say, like, hey, this is our version of it. It's not that, I'm not taking any credit for this, we made the song what it is or anything, it's Disney, Disney was the one who picked that song in the first place. But I really enjoy the fact now that we have our own little version of that is still familiar enough that people, know what it is and everything, but it's also like our calling card, right? Like it's a very cool thing that it's honestly been long overdue. Like, we've just, like so many things, we've been busy. We do this as a hobby. We don't do this as a full-time job. So doing things like this, like, Tom and I think this conversation started, I want to say back in October, I think, when you first mentioned to me that you had found the band and everything and you were getting the work done. And it was like, so like this took a while. Like for us,
it takes time.
It takes a while because, it's done in between all of, Tom and I both have our regular lives and our jobs and everything. Like, I'll be honest, I wish, if we could just do this full time, like, it would be a great job, but it's a lot of energy. Like, it's so much, lot of work. It's so much energy to, look at this stuff and produce it and whatnot. And I'm not saying, I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just saying, like, we have to find a breaking point somewhere where it's, we have to, doing these kinds of things. It's like, I wish we could just like turn it around in a week and be like, yeah, we got it. Let's go.
Yeah.
But it's like, sometimes it's going to take us a couple of months, and we've been talking about other things we want to do too. And those things are still coming. But again, it's also a matter of, we're having to fit it in between, like, and it's even harder too, because it's not just a matter of like, to Tom's credit, or to your credit, Tom, you did the vast majority of the work around this audio track because, you set everything up. And like, that's your wheelhouse. But, we have other stuff around, like designing, t-shirts and hats and stuff that, we want to do together, but it's like us finding time, like we have to kind of bounce it back and forth when we both have time to do it. And outside of doing this podcast together, our time doesn't always align very, very easily.
Especially because we have a time. Well, there's a time zone difference too, which doesn't make things easy either. So it's challenging. Listen, we're not complaining about any of this. This is the thing we do for fun, and it's just it's hard. It takes a lot of time, and we don't have a lot of time, and that's. But I will tell you, Trevor, this is our last show for the year. Okay, so we're done for the year. We will be back on, what is it, the 5th? Trevor, is it going to be
the 5th will be the next episode.
Yeah, 5th will be the next episode. We're going to take a little holiday break here, but during that time, I am going to spend a lot of time doing some of the things that we've been talking about. Trevor, I'm going to start working on some merch. We're going to start working on some other things, and I've got some free time coming my way, so I'm gonna use that time.
So we're gonna do some back and forth and start. So this is not guaranteed that we're going to have stuff ready for January either, but this will at least give us some time to get some things rolling.
One of the things somebody requested, and I am more than happy to do this because I am thrilled with how these things came out. Someone was asking if we were doing anything with the current Christmas logo that I have out there, the holidays logo.
Yeah.
And I hadn't thought about doing that might be my favorite one that I've made so far. Actually, no, I take that back. The waitlist one is still the best, but that one is good too. And someone asked if we were going to put that in any merch, and I was like, I hadn't thought about it, but why not? Let's do it. Like, right? Like, let's throw it out there. So, I might put that out there. I might put the waitlist stuff out there. We might put Food Time out there. We have so many assets now, Trevor, of just different logos and different. It's weird to think about how many of those things that we've created, that you and I have put together here. And we just need to get those things out there. So,
and the funny thing about the Christmas stuff is that, we've obviously missed the ball for this year, but, which again is, I guess, we could do, a late, or like a Boxing Day something. I don't know. Boxing Day sale.
Well, we'll do something. We're gonna revamp our store. Our store is has seen better days, so we're gonna fix that. And like I said, I have some free time, and it's I have a list of things I want to do, so we're gonna start seeing some more of that. But I hope everybody enjoys it. This is like a labor of love for us, and I think it is. We try at all times to own all the things that we do, and to have our own version of the theme song that belongs to us. It just feels really good. And I also, the idea of me bringing this old song, that old super obscure song that's 100 years old, to a band and say, hey, can you do a cover of that, is an extraordinarily weird conversation that I had to have. But they're like, why do you want a cover of that song? Like, what is that? And I was like, it's hard to explain.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's funny too to think about that, we're so used to like the Disney angle of stuff that it's like, you hear things that are specifically Disney, and Disney does reference like old songs and stuff like that. And we know it from that lens. We're like, oh yeah, we know this thing. But then, like you said, you go to somebody outside of it and you're like, hey, I want to look at this song. And they look at the source material and they go, this is a song from the 1920s. What are you doing?
Do you want this? Like, why do you want us to cover this?
Yeah.
But like I said, it came out great, and I was really pumped about it.
They were fantastic. They
really did a great job. Yeah, I didn't even. They came back to me and they're like, "Well, is there anything you want to change?" I'm like, "No, you guys you killed it. It's perfect. I can't even complain." So, but anyway, we just talked about our new song for like 20 minutes. So, and popcorn buckets, I guess. But
I mean, it's only been like 15 minutes, but I think it was a worthy conversation because we don't, yes, we do talk about production and stuff, but I think it's good for us to, sometimes toot our own horn about things that we're doing on the show. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. So, all right, cool.
All right.
Truthfully, Trevor, I'm going to preface this show right now. We do a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. There's a little bit of Vacation Club stuff this week, but there's almost no park stuff. But there's some other things we're going to talk about that are not necessarily parks related. So,
I feel they're parks adjacent.
Parks adjacent. Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about movies, and we're going to talk a little bit about that kind of stuff, and TV shows and that kind of stuff. But so if you're in for that, hang with us here. But listen, I just on another side note, Trevor, before we really get into it, I appreciate everybody from this year. I know we've done this, the show of appreciation already before. We know this has been a year of change. It's been a year of change for us. It's been very different for us. Although doesn't feel that different to us, but it almost feels like, we're doing things just in a little bit of a different way than we were before. But I appreciate everybody that's hung with us through all this and been supportive and been very cool and continue to listen, continue to contribute. Thanks to your wife, to my wife, to Lee, listener Lee, for managing our social media accounts, because two things there. One, we don't have the time to do it, and two, I don't know how Instagram works.
They're honestly far better at it than we are, because we try to do it ourselves and we're
bad at it
managing social media. So yes.
Yeah. So thank you to your wife, my wife, and to Lee for helping us out with that, because you guys do a great job. And also any of the listeners that have just contributed to the show in any way over the past year. I mean, so many of you write in and share stuff with us, and, especially in places like our Discord and our Patreon, where people literally directly contribute to the show with either their questions, their stories, or just helping us with production things, like giving us feedback on things and telling us things that can be better. These things are invaluable, and we really sincerely appreciate the community that's around this thing. And so thank you to everybody for a great year. It's, like I said, it's been a year of change, but I think we're coming out of the other side of it. So
yeah. And it's still an evolution too. Like it's,
of course.
Not to say that we're done changing, but I think we're in a good place with it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're doing. So let's go from all this happy, fun, all right,
nice let's talk about price increases. Let's talk about how the every year dues come out.
And this is the dues. This is direct prices.
This is. Sorry. I thought this was the dues. Okay, sorry.
No, I didn't put the dues one on here because I mean, we can do dues if you want.
No, that's fine. We can do dues other time.
We can do due talk. No, I wanted to talk about the direct price increases.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So direct prices. Okay. Direct pricing per point it's gone up from $235 to $243 per point.
Yeah.
As of February 10th, 2026.
Okay.
I'm 2016 me is very glad I bought my points when I did. I'm just going to say this now because
I know. I don't even remember what I paid when I bought mine initially.
Mine were, I want to say it was, I'll have to go back and check, but I know it was somewhere in the realm of like 175 points for my direct. Because I know when I bought my resale, it was like 155, which is still like pretty on par with what they are now. Like resale is up to 175 now. So the crazy thing is that Disney they have been jumping the price of direct stuff year over year for the last 10 years. Like it's like a $75, almost a $75 increase from when I bought into the Polynesian. The fact that it's $243 now for Polynesian Direct is crazy. Although I do understand, the fact that there is the new tower and everything, they have reasons to up the price and their justification behind it is that, you do get perks for having direct, which, the perks shouldn't be the reason that you're buying. But I don't know. It's like, that's still a lot of like, it's hitting that point where I'm, I've said for a long time that, if buying direct makes sense for you, do it. If a lot of people like buying direct because, they like just, not having to deal with, the resale aspect of it, buying through Disney feels good because you're dealing directly with Disney and all that kind of stuff. But they're making the price point real steep. But I guess the other side of it too is that, I haven't done the math on this, but I guess, for the amount of points it would take to, let's say I initially bought 100-point contract direct, buying that same amount of points, but even now, like you have to buy a minimum of 150 points. The savings on it versus paying rack rate for rooms is still there because the cost of rack rate rooms has gone up over time as well. So like it's not that, or I guess the conversation there is not necessarily that DVC is too expensive, but the cost of hotel rooms at Disney is getting overly expensive. I guess is the observation there.
Well, and so, for context, right, resale right now, the average price across the board is 121 per point. Now, this varies pretty greatly by resort, right? So like Poly Direct is going to be 243, where, resale, you can get the average price for resale was 163 in November. I'm looking directly on DVC Resale Market's website. So this other article we're reading has some numbers in there, but they're different from what I'm seeing right on their website. So,
I think again that because they're probably looking across multiple resale places. So
but like Riviera is still selling for $243, but on Resale Market you can get it for an average of $113. So I mean even with this new $500 fee that's coming online next year, you're still talking about a huge amount of savings. It's a really big amount of savings.
The $500 is honestly like, it's not going to put it anywhere close in comparison to direct versus resale costs. And like I said, the gap in direct, like again, I get why Disney's doing it, but the interesting thing is that the perception from the outside, and I guess maybe this is something where when we come back in the new year, this might actually be a good conversation with somebody from resale market. Is the outward perception, for me at least, is that the direct prices keep going up, but I'm not seeing equal movement in the resale. The cost per point on resale is still not like it's not climbing as fast as their direct price increases, and I don't quite see, like, to me it feels like resale costs should move up relationally, but there's another factor there that I'm not seeing because I'm not heavily invested in like figuring out all that math, I guess. Is the thing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like the biggest savings I think you can get is Alani, man, because Alani averages $92 on per point on DVC Resale Market, and the direct cost is $243. I mean, dang, that's a huge savings right there. But we know why.
If you're fine with only ever having the 7-month window on anything in Florida, that's really huge savings right there.
It's funny. My brother-in-law's parents, I've talked about this before, who were the ones that turned me on to DVC, and they have a lot of points. I don't mean, like, when I say a lot of points, I mean, I don't know, probably 3 times what I have, at least, maybe 4 times. They have an insane amount of points, but my brother-in-law's father used to go on rants all the time about saying how Alani was by far the best value contract you could get from DVC. I think he's right, actually. I mean, one of the best values anyway.
But people sleep on it because of the 7 to 11 month window.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
The dues too, I think, are.
I guess. Yeah. I haven't looked at what the dues look like. Cause I guess that's the other side of it too, is that, it's like the direct increases are one thing, but then, we kind of talked about at the beginning is, you do have to factor in your yearly dues as well, because, even though sorry, but the trap has always been like Vero Beach and
Hilton Head always, and cheap contracts, high dues.
Anybody that owns them, I'm not slamming you for owning it, but it's, it does seem like a bit of a trap for people that are new to DVC. That they'll look and go, oh, Vero Beach, it's it's kind of close to Disney, and great, I can get it for cheap, but if you graph it out over 10 years. How much are you paying in dues versus getting something on property in Florida, right? Like it's
Listen, I will say though that I just pulled it up just to see, but the dues at Alani are only slightly higher than like Disneyland Hotel, and like slightly higher than Animal Kingdom Villas. I mean, it's not that much higher than.
They're kind of middle of the pack. They're not
the highest, but they're not the lowest either. Yeah. I mean, they're not as high as like Hilton Head and Old Key West, who are significantly higher than both of those. Yeah, I mean, not Old Key West. I'm sorry, I meant Vero Beach. Vero Beach and Hilton Head. Vero Beach is the highest by a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's because of the hurricane insurance and things like that. They have a much greater risk of being hit by hurricanes and such. So
I'll say I didn't have it on my bingo card of us secretly promoting Alani as an option for our year-end
I'm not saying we should.
Observations.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right though. Like it's you know, interestingly enough, yeah. You know, if you're less concerned about because we are talking about direct versus resale here, you know, Alani, you know, with these price increases, you know, the way that they've highlighted is, Alani is the best value. And also in terms of dues, it's good value. The only downside is that, unless you're going to Alani on a regular basis, you're never going to have the 11-month window. So,
it's true.
Kind of an interesting thought exercise there.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're like me here, Trevor, but I actually I actually read the budgets that they put out for the dues. I'm not gonna lie, I do.
I try to. I will, if I have time, I will sit down and read that stuff. But I'm not like religious about going through their budget reports when they come out.
Yeah, I just read them, because I do find them interesting. I don't know, I just find it interesting. But I mean, if you want to talk dues really quickly here, across the board, decent size increases this year. Between, I don't know, let's see, 5% to as high as 9%. The highest is Bay Lake Tower. And the lowest looks to be Fort Wilderness Cabins, probably because that's why
they're new.
Because they're new, and that always happens, right? So, but also, there were property tax increases this year. That's part of what is being factored into this. But and part of and why Bay Lake is so high is because they just had a refurbishment, so you're getting the cost of that passed on. But there's only they're all basically increasing. So
and I kind of expected, like, with the tower opening this year and everything, I was like, yeah, that's gonna hurt my dues. I knew that specifically for the poly, but like you said, we talked about across the board the property taxes and just maintenance and all that stuff is just, it's a reality of dealing with DVC. And I guess, for anybody listening to this that is still looking at DVC and aren't sure about it, is part of it is, there's the initial cost, but, make sure that, dues fit into your budget as well, factoring in increases over time.
Yeah. Don't forget about the dues.
Yeah. Cause I will say this, even, we sometimes complain about, or I guess I complain about, because I can't do the monthly withdrawal things for my dues. I have to pay them yearly because I'm international. So every year, it's about this time, I actually got the email this week where it was like, your dues are ready. And it's like, oh, great. Now I got to pay, a big chunk of money for this, which, I know the thing is that I budget for it every year. It doesn't feel good no matter what. But the thing that I do always look at though, is that, when I look at paying my dues, and it's in the ballpark of like $1,000-ish, that $1,000 range. When I look at paying my dues, I do always go and I look at the rack rate of booking a poly room, and I go, yeah, this is fine.
This is fine. I've saved lots of money.
Because I even, when my brother and because we had our trip back in May, and so I just paid for that with points, and I didn't. I told my brother, so when we were doing the planning for it, I told him that hey, I'm going to use my points for this, and he was like, oh yeah, well, I can help you pay for that. And I'm like, it's already paid for. It's fine. I said, and I was like, I'm not even going to go to him and be like, well, you can pay half of my dues or whatever. It was like, I just told him, I'm like, I got the room, don't worry about it. But then he went and he looked and he was like, oh, damn, yeah, good thing I didn't go in with you on the room, because that would have been a big chunk of money. I was like, yeah, I'm happy paying that $1,000 a year, because, being able to do what we did this year is far more valuable to me than, those dues coming out every year. And I know it's you can say it's mental gymnastics for justifying it, but really, there are places local to me that I cannot stay more than 3 days without paying $1,000. Hotel prices in general, are just crazy at this point. So I'm more than happy to keep paying my dues to DVC for, a cheap, like when Disney is my cheap vacation, like that's that's kind of a weird thing, right?
It's funny during this conversation, I decided to pull up my dues because I hadn't looked at them, and I should have remembered this from the last time I bought a contract. But if those who don't remember, I bought a new contract this year, and when you buy a new contract, I have the auto pay thing, enabled. So it just automatically drafts the dues out of my account every month. Well, it doesn't automatically enroll your contract into auto pay. So it's a good thing I went and checked, because this happened to me last time I bought a contract where like they came to me and they were like, hey, you're locked out. Because you're back, you're owe dues. I'm like, what do you mean I owe dues? I was like, because I don't know, I don't pay attention. They just come out of my account every month. I don't like pay attention because there's different contracts.
It's an auto pay thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't really think about it, right? It just kind of happens, right? And so I was like, what do you mean I haven't been paying my dues? It's like, I'm pretty sure I've been paying my dues, but sure enough, I had not been. So. But yeah, so I'm glad I got in here, because now I know that I needed to sign this new one up for auto pay. So now I'm in good shape here. So that if you buy a new contract, keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm glad we talked about it, because saved you finding out the hard way. Yeah,
that would not have been good. Okay, so good. Anyway, What else are we talking about? Oh yeah, Top of the World, Trevor. Top of the World.
Yes, Top of the World. Top of the World Lounge is reopened for DVC reservations, which, okay. So Top of the World is a weird thing for me. Let me, because I thought it was open this entire time.
It has been.
Okay.
It's just now they're taking reservations. It used to just be first come, first serve.
Oh, okay. All right. That was the part that was confusing me. I was like, but couldn't you just go up there anyway? But because the reason I say it confused me is because it seemed like they were trying different things. Like they have like the
villains thing,
and all that. And so I was like, what are they doing now with it?
Yeah. So here's the thing though. You're making reservations to do the complimentary fireworks viewing. So to go inside, you have to pay for the event, to pay for the villains thing. But you can still go out on the balcony. So, I
mean, I'll be honest, I would only really be going there for the fireworks anyways. So
yeah.
So that's fine. I mean, I guess this is, Disney's trying to, we do always talk about, things with Disney and DVC. Like, for a long time, it has felt very much like penny pinching and taking stuff away. I see this as, this is, I'm seeing things gradually swinging back the other way, where they're kind of realizing that, you can't keep taking away from the experience and expecting people to keep enjoying it. Yeah, I guess is the thing. And yes, yes, you still got to pay for the indoor lounge stuff. But again, there's a lot of people, and I'm sure they probably heard this feedback of, we just want to go watch the fireworks. Like, I don't need to have a whole like sit down or whatever. I just want to go up, enjoy fireworks, talk on the deck and be done with it. That seems perfectly fine to me. Like this seems like a good compromise that you can, if that's part of your plan. And I will say this is, a lot of people seem to be under the impression that you can just walk up and do these things. And like, as we said, this is a reservation thing. If it's something you really want to do,
you used to be able to.
But like everything though, if you want to do it, like, at the very least, like, get the reservation like a day ahead or whatever, like, doing the walk up thing. Like, I get it. I get, the spontaneity of it and whatever, but there's a lot of people that want to do this. So if you really want to do it, don't be surprised if you walk up and they don't have space for you, I guess is the thing.
Yeah. You gotta do the reservation now. So I don't think it's saying that you have to, well, let's see, check in. Yeah, you have to have a reservation. So like, you can't just show up. You used to just show up. I mean, that was it. Yeah. And if they were full, they were full, and that was it. Like, and they
I
also
feel like
used
you
to
could do the reservation like as you're standing there kind of thing if they had space. Like you just,
They just had no. I mean, they didn't even have reservation for you. You just showed up. There was no reservation. There was no concept of reservations.
Yeah, but I'm saying now, like you could still like walk like as you're walking up, do the reservation. But
you can. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I when we were trying to figure out something to do before the party, I wanted to go up and hang in Top of the World and realized that it doesn't open till 6. Now I remember when I don't know, maybe when I first bought my DVC and we stayed at Bay Lake that first time, we went there at like noon. Like we went there around lunch one time just to hang out. There was nobody there, but we were able to go. Like it used to have better hours. Like I think COVID like kind of killed the long hours there. But it is what it is. It's a member benefit. These things change. The blue card benefit, it is what it is.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think it's, I think it's a good thing. I think it's, it's giving people what, this was something that, before it feels a little bit more like before COVID, I guess is the best way.
Yeah, we're getting back
like
there.
Where that was very much a thing where, just go watch the fireworks from Top of the World. You don't have to like have a thing booked or whatever. Right. So, I'm glad to see it. Yes, I know some people, balk at reservations, but I'll deal with it.
I do want to make a quick correction. So there is walk-up availability. They do have walk-up availability. So it does say, it says walk-up availability Top of the World Lounge, and the outdoor terrace area is open to eligible members without a reservation for the party or Top of the World for the complimentary fireworks viewings. Members can visit the Top of the World Lounge podium on the 16th floor in person starting at 6 p.m. for same-day walk-up inquiries, which are limited in availability and not guaranteed. So they are still doing walk-ups, but if it gets booked up, then they're not going to let anybody do walk-ups. So it's, but it's actually kind of good to have a reservation availability now because that you can guarantee your access rather than just, taking a shot.
If I really want to make sure that I can do it, reserve your spot, that you can do it. I don't. The thing that baffles my mind is people that go like, I really want to watch the fireworks with my family, and then they roll up at the 11th hour and go,
I know,
we couldn't watch this, and it's like, when has like reservations have been a thing forever? Like,
yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
people.
I mean, not for the fireworks, but it's like, if you really want to do something, find out if you can reserve it. I don't know.
Plan ahead.
That's just me. Yeah.
Things do change. Like, listen, sometimes people have emergency situations. It's happened to me before, but
fully fair. And I'm all for, like, I will admit I do things as well where, I do things all the time where, like, we change plans on a dime, at Disney and outside of Disney, we will change plans, but the one thing that I don't have is expectations that my plan is going to execute just because I changed my mind at the last minute. Like,
I get that.
That's the part that gets me, is that when, like, there is a subset of people at
you
Disney.
Don't act like you're put out when that happens, right? That's
if I go off and I say, hey, can we do this thing? And they go, nah, then I go, okay, what else do we want to do? Like, I get it. It's not like, you ruined my family vacation. Like, that, I don't.
I'm writing a letter to Bob Iger.
Yeah. Sorry, I know I'm ranting a little bit about it, but it's because I see it all the time. I see people like,
it's the entitlement that
my brother and I saw it when we, like, I think I told this story when we were getting my brother's Magic Band fixed because he didn't have his credit card set up on it or anything. So we were talking with somebody at the entrance to the Poly, and this Karen walked up and was like, you ruined our vacation. And this guy, like the cast member, was like, okay, and so he kind of like he looked at us and we were like, it's like, we were like, it's okay. And then he kind of stepped back and started talking to her, and she was just like, I'm so dissatisfied with and yes, I'm doing the voice. I don't care.
I like the voice. That's great. Like, this is great.
And she was so like, I can't believe that you did this to me. And I was like, and we were listening to her. My brother and I looked at each other like, is this for real? Like, are you seriously like blaming some random cast member for something that it sounded like as she was talking, we were hearing enough of the conversation. We're like, you clearly didn't plan what you were doing, and you're mad that you didn't get what you wanted, and so you're taking it out on somebody who just happens to be in proximity.
Yeah,
which
exactly,
is just like,
or trying to get free stuff because they know Disney will sometimes do that. So
I think that like she was pushing to like get comped on her rooms. Like that's why she was talking to him, and I was like, "Wow!" Like,
she definitely got a have a magical day after that one, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure she did. The guy came back and he finished with us, and then they continued their conversation. So we were just like, sorry, dude. Good luck to you. But yeah, it was awful.
I'm sure, and
this like just thinking about like the reservation thing with Top of the World. It just reminds me of like, some poor cast member is going to catch the brunt of this at some point where it's like, I expected to watch the fireworks with my family, and it's like, did you really?
Shout out to all the guest services cast members and all the ones that have to tell guests the thing, to do things that they don't want to do, like move off the parade route. Because I saw that during the Christmas party. So
they do really have a hard job, and I really like.
Just be nicer, people. Just be nicer.
I do my best to try and like make their job as easy as possible because they do have a really tough job,
it's hard.
Yeah, it's not fair
with people.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor, let's go ahead and do our ad.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a weird little rant. But
my wife is going to give me such a hard time about this episode because I was like, "Yeah, there's not that much this week," and so I was probably going to be pretty short.
We'll speed it up here. Yeah, we got a few more things, so we'll do the ad. Okay, so this week our sponsor is DVC Rental Store. DVC Rental Store is a World of DVC company that offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 382-7368. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you.
So Trevor, I put this next item in here because I thought it was interesting. It's kind of parks adjacent, right? Because so Disney has been doing a thing for a long time now where they build these really cool, elaborate gingerbread houses in the resorts. Mm-hmm. But Disney also decided to break the record for the largest gingerbread house by making a replica of the Home Alone house.
So, so this was the part that I wasn't clear on. Were they specifically going for largest gingerbread house overall, or was it specifically largest Home Alone gingerbread house?
Largest gingerbread house overall, and they just decided to do it with the gingerbread house.
With Home Alone as the theme of it.
Yeah. Okay. So the house is 25 and a half feet tall, 46 feet wide, or 42 feet wide, sorry, and 58 feet long, and it has a total of 44,838 cubic feet of space in there. So,
I mean,
I'm trying to visualize that in my head. That is insane.
I feel like there's houses on the market that are
what's this house going for?
I want to know what the mortgage is on a gingerbread house.
How much space does this thing have? But it was 5,700 pounds of flour, 4,200 eggs, 4,400 gingerbread brick tiles, and 800 roof tiles, held together with 20 gallons of edible glue and finished with 20 pounds of fondant.
Yeah. So wow. And so I guess apparently they didn't do this on property. They did this
it's at an art gallery or something, right? Or
it's on Hollywood and Vine in LA.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, and I guess actually as of this recording, it's no longer it's no longer set up. So
by the way, when I was reading the sizes, Trevor, I was like, it doesn't look that big in the picture. Did you open the video?
Concept.
Open the video. The video, you can see how big it is because there's people standing next to it and there's a truck next to it. And now you get an actual. When they said life size, I thought that they were exaggerating. They're not exaggerating. It's life size.
Like, okay, hold on. Let me.
Yeah, you have to see. I will put this video in the notes. But yeah, it's an actual house. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, like I said, I feel like you could take a mortgage out on this thing.
Do you? I do feel like it's. I mean, listen, Home Alone is a classic movie, and I really like Home Alone, right? So don't get me wrong, but why Home Alone? I mean, it's an old movie at this point. Like,
well, it's because this year was the 35th anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah,
is that why we're doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Weird aside. So, okay. Do you know what Smosh is?
No.
Okay. So Smosh is an internet channel that's been around since the beginning of the internet. They've typically done comedy and stuff like that, but I watch them because they're like, I just usually have it on as background noise when I'm working or whatever. But they recently did a video where they were attempting to break Guinness World Records, and the same person in this video for the Gingerbread House did.
Oh, because it's the person from Guinness. That's why.
Apparently, she's like the local, because Smosh is based out of LA as well. Apparently, this is she's like the local Guinness person, I guess. Validator.
Yeah.
Just when I saw, I was like, huh, I saw her like the other week. That's weird.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah.
No, I listen, this is cool. I get it. They're doing it for the 35th anniversary, but it's just like, man, that movie's so old at this point. It's like, I'm surprised they didn't try to do it with something more recent. And listen, it's still just as relevant as it was. I'm not trying to say like it's not.
To be fair, the house is pretty iconic. Like, because like the house has been kept intact this entire time from the movie, and like it's as far as houses, like, you know, if I was to do a gingerbread house, it is a very recognizable gingerbread house, right?
Yeah.
And again, yeah, you know, Disney is being smart and doing their cross promotion stuff. They're very clearly this year, I feel like they've been looking at their lineup of shows, and like every year it feels like they kind of pick something as like something to emphasize on Disney Plus and all that. And Home Alone seems to be the one this year that they're
really pushing.
So,
all right.
I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's awesome. We sit down and watch Home Alone. Like I will watch Home Alone 1 and 2. The other ones don't exist for me. They because they really fell off after the second one.
Yeah, they really fell off at the second one.
But when it comes to like between 1 and 2, I find I go back and I watch 1 more than I watch 2.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, I mean, I think I've already watched Christmas Vacation like, I don't know, probably 4 times in the past month now, because it's on TV like constantly.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I like it. And I mean, listen, we watch the Santa Claus every year, and we watch it a lot of times. I mean, we watch it many, many times. So,
for us, it's Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's another great one.
Like,
yeah,
I was doing something on my computer, and then I heard the music from it, and I like walked into the other room. My wife was watching it, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'm doing this now.
I tried to get my daughter to watch it actually, and she was liking it for a little while, and then kind of bailed. But it wasn't. It had nothing to do with that, though. It's we talked about this before. My daughter doesn't do movies, so like if we can get her into a movie, then that's a miracle. It doesn't matter what movie it is; she's not going to watch it. So.
I mean, it's such a weird thing now. Like like. I don't know. It feels maybe like I think that this is a symptom of the internet and having devices on us at all times and everything, is that just like the concept of like you're going to spend an hour and a half doing this one thing. It's like, but in that time I could also be like checking this site, or I could be doing that. Like it's getting our minds to like stop like thinking about other things we could be doing and just focusing on the thing that's in front of us is what I feel like it is. Like and I get it. Like my son's the same way. Like, we sit down and watch movies, and then he'll bring out his phone, and I'm like, are you watching the movie? He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, but you're looking at your phone. He's like, oh, I was just checking my game. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
He's like, it's like, I know what's going on. And I guess the thing is, I can't even be mad at him, because like he, so, like I've commented on, like, you seem distracted by your phone, but then he like in his, I'm just okay, I'm just going to put this out there. He in his English class, I was concerned that, they were told to watch a movie. It was actually The Shawshank Redemption. And
okay, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know the why that was chosen, but he said, yeah, we're watching it, and I'm like, that's a pretty interesting movie. And he like recited, like, he was like, oh yeah, this happened and this, and I'm like, oh, so you do, like, you are paying attention. Yeah, you are paying attention, but it's like, sometimes it doesn't seem like they're paying attention, but they actually are.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I have the same problem with my wife, but I didn't say this, but anytime we watch a movie, she's on her phone half the time. It drives me crazy.
Like, and again, I get it. I do the same thing from time to time too. I'm bad for it that, my phone buzzes and it's like, Discord's going off or whatever. And so, like, we all do it. Like, it's not fair for us to say, like, oh, everyone else is doing it and we're trying to watch the movie. It's like, we all do it now, but it's like, it's weird to just think about the fact that, the premise of watching a movie for an hour and a half seems like too much now.
Well, I also, so if I ever look at my phone during a movie, it's because it's like I recognize an actor and I'm like, what thing were they in? Right. Yeah. And I know if I don't do it right then, that I'm going to forget by the end of the movie, so I want to look it up and be like, I recognize that person. Like, we were watching the most recent Knives Out movie that came out. We're a big fan of that series of movies. And there was a guy in it, and I was like, that guy was in Game of Thrones. I know he was in Game of Thrones. I just can't remember who he is. Like, I recognize his voice and his face, and I can't remember who exactly it was. And I looked it up because it was going to drive me crazy otherwise. But, that kind of stuff I'll pop up my phone for. But outside of that, I try to pay full attention.
Do you know what I do like on Prime? Amazon Prime does this with their movies, is that when you pause the movie at certain points, it tells you who's in that scene, which it makes it a lot easier to IMDb people or whatever, or at the very least, you see their name and you're like, oh yeah, I remember who that is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wish Disney did that with some of their stuff too, but then like Muppets Christmas Carol, I'd pause in and be like, who's in this scene? Kermit, Gonzo, like.
Which, by the way, Trevor, if you haven't watched the Knives Out movies, they're fantastic.
I keep meaning to.
Are great.
I've heard they are. I've heard that they're awesome movies, and I keep meaning to, but I have the same problem where finding time to sit down and watch a movie is
tough.
Is a hard, or it's not that it's hard. It's just I have other things that I want to do. So
I get it. They're really good movies, though. All three of them are great, and they're all really well done. And
since I have time off here, in between all the other things we have planned to do over vacation, maybe I'll try and watch that after I'm done watching Stranger Things. And
you got to catch up on that.
Because we haven't, we're gonna catch up on that before I get spoiled on whatever's going on there. And I feel like I had some other shows that I needed to watch, but I'm forgetting about them.
There was a specific movie I wanted to go see. It's actually, it's a Disney movie, but it's under their Searchlight banner. So Searchlight is like independent movies, and it's coming out. It came out, but it's not playing anywhere. And I'm like, I never have time to see movies, and I have 2 weeks where my daughter will be at daycare. My wife will be working. I can go to the movie by myself, and I can't go see this movie because it's not playing anywhere. And I'm like, I never have time to. And there's nothing I want to see in theaters. No offense to Avatar, which is a good segue into the next topic.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of movies, we're going to go there. But yeah,
and I didn't do that on purpose, but let's pretend like I did.
We're there. Let's go. Yeah.
But I listen. I have no problem with Avatar. Right? Like, there's no like. Avatar's fine. It doesn't do anything for me, but clearly it's a huge movie franchise that lots of people love. And so I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my thing. I'm just not interested in going to see it. Now, that's a movie though. If you want to see it, you probably should see it in theaters based on the spectacle of it, and especially in like IMAX. But
yeah, I've seen some of the previews of like 4D stuff that they're doing for.
I want to see the 4D
Fire
so
Ash.
bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna go see. I forget what Marvel movie it was. I was gonna go see a Marvel movie in 4D, and then it ended up I couldn't go, and I was so disappointed. But anyway,
All right. So let's tie this back to there. So, okay, we've been talking about movies. Now we're talking about Avatar, Fire and Ash coming out.
Yeah.
Disney Parks blog has said that they are obviously doing some things in the parks related to the release of Fire and Ash. And
yeah,
I'll just say this. The only thing on this list that actually interests me is the drink that they're doing at Pongo Pongo, the Night Wraith Blaze, because it looks the same as the Night Blossom, but it's blood orange and lychee with lychee. Yeah, blood orange lychee and wildberry slushy. So different flavor of slushy with the fruit juice pearls, which I love. The Night Blossom. It's one of my favorite drinks that I get when I'm in Animal Kingdom. So this is like the same thing but red. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm here for it.
I mean, this mousse at Satuli looks pretty good too. Cinnamon milk chocolate mousse, caramelized banana cake, banana sesame caramel, and a chocolate sesame crumble, and it just looks cool.
Yeah, that you're right. That one does look interesting. It's got very the little chocolate bits are kind of like making it look like a hand to me, which is kind of throwing me off a bit. But
interesting.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that, but yeah, okay.
I don't know. It looks like a weird alien hand thing.
It looks like a claw. It looks like a claw. Like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But between the two of those things, I would say that the Night Wraith Blaze would be my choice if I had to only pick one, I guess.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
They're doing some. They got some merch too. There's a different what is that thing?
A Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a new Banshee. I don't know. I haven't seen the most recent Banshees, but there's a Banshee there. And then there's
the Banshees were typically blue, and this is a red one. Or no, the red. There was a red.
Ones.
There was the big one, which in the first. I know you haven't watched the movies, but in the first movie, there was the Banshees, which were the regular ones that they flew, but then there was like an apex predator one that was like way bigger that the main character tames.
Okay.
And I cannot remember the name of it, but it was like there was something about like if you saw its shadow, you were dead kind of thing. was the premise of it.
That's unfortunate.
Because it was high above, like it'd be above like everything else. And so it looks like that thing. And I'm wondering if maybe they're like playing back into some of that, like, tying the movies together. It looks like that red Banshee from the first movie. And I'm totally blanking on someone's going to correct me. I know it's not called a Banshee. It's called something else.
Okay.
But
I'm sure someone that knows these movies inside and out will tell you.
I'm terrible, or I'm not terrible. Like if I'm really interested in IP, I will like archive like all the terminology of like animals and like things in the IP if I'm interested in it. Avatar, I was like, the first movie, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then it just completely fell off for me. So I cannot remember anything about it.
Yeah. I have to say, one of the cool things on here is they did a collection with this company. Was it Displate? Where it's that company that prints art on metal plates that you hang up. And these two pieces of art are pretty cool, actually.
They are.
Like if I were into Avatar, like these are cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
these are really, really neat. I like those. There's some really interesting merch. A couple shirts here, some socks, and then of course, Trevor, they're advertising the drone
figurines.
Show. Yeah, the figurines.
Sorry. The drone show. Yeah, the figurines. But yeah, the drone show, which I know you are upset.
I'm not upset about it. It's just like, do it here. It looks really cool, though. I don't know if you saw the video of it, but like they've got like smoke effects coming out of the drones, and like they've been doing this. This is nothing new as far as like effects go, but it's it just looks awesome,
Yeah.
There's never a time where I see a drone show that I'm like, oh, that's stupid. Like every time I see one of the drone shows, I'm just like, wow, this is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
Like even a bad drone show is probably good.
Okay, so further down, apparently so the Banshees, the proper name for them are the Ikran.
Oh, okay.
Is what they are. But
gotcha.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna forget that, but
yeah, that's fine. You don't need to remember these things, Trevor. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
No one's gonna.
There's a part of me that feels like it goes back to the same thing, like with just Disney IPs in general, is that I try to like remember details about them. Avatar is really a blind spot for me.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
You still know more than I do, which is almost nothing. So, I mean, like, really anyone knows more than I do about this. This isn't even one of those things that I've really absorbed from pop culture. Everything I know about Avatar is completely related to Pandora at Disney World. That's all. The only things I know about Disney about Avatar are from Disney World.
Which is funny because technically the ride in Disney World actually shows more than they showed in the movie.
Well, there you go. Right.
So maybe you're ahead of
let's not get too crazy, Trevor. I'm ahead on knowledge. I'm never ahead on knowledge.
Okay, so I think that was or is there any other stuff you want to talk about with movies? So okay, let's transition. Let's go to yet another. I feel a bit of a blind spot for some people at the parks, but it's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I do like Disney water parks. And they are returning the seasonal water park pass,
which they had last year.
Yeah,
but they're bringing it back again.
Yeah, which I'm happy for that, because like if I have enough trips planned in a year, I will justify getting a water park pass, because I do enjoy spending. Like I will go spend a day at Blizzard Beach and a day at Typhoon Lagoon easily. Like they're fun. Anybody who says that they don't like the water parks, I'll just ask, are you okay? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Like if you don't like the water parks, what are you doing?
Is that directed at me? I feel like it's
well, no. Okay. No, you're so
ambivalent towards the water parks. We don't dislike the water. We just
that's right. Like I get, like you just haven't like prioritized going to them. Yeah, if you're like against the water parks, like what are you doing?
No, I'm not against.
Yeah,
no.
Exactly.
Listen, I mean,
you will enjoy a water park. Like if given the opportunity, you will enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about I mean, $89 for adults, $83 for kids.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, you can go as much as you want for that. It's pretty great, right?
I mean, I feel like, if you wanted to, like, people talk about like, doing stays at DVC, and it's like, but I don't want to go into the parks, or I don't want to spend a bunch of money. Like, I could justify this for a week where, like, even if I hit up the water parks for 2 or 3 days throughout the week, like that right there pays for it.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is that, like water parks they're such a slower pace than the theme parks. Like you can spend a lot of time running around, and you can like drain your energy, or you can get into the lazy river and float for 5 hours. Like it's a really good proposition, I think.
By the way, they did actually add a perk to this year too. They have you get 20% off the Blizzard Beach Polar Patio Cabanas.
Ooh.
If you have this membership, so you can get 20% off those, which are between $225 a day to $375 per day, depending on the timing. This is a little pricey, but if you get 20% off, that's not bad.
Yeah, and I will say this: we didn't do a cabana, but when we went to Volcano Bay, they have a section for reserved lounge chairs. So we got a couple of lounge chairs reserved, which, the fact that they're offering this for the cabanas, if you can afford it, like I say, go for it, because having like, finding a place to like put your stuff in the water parks it's a bit challenging, because like because it's a water park, you don't want to walk around with everything all day. You don't like carry a backpack around because you're getting on slides and stuff. But if you don't have somebody that, you can leave stuff with, or, if you don't have a place where you can like really put your stuff down, you're having to like go back to the lockers and put stuff away. And it becomes a bit of a hassle. I do like I said, when we did it, we had and I hope, I kind of hope Disney maybe takes a bit of a note from Typhoon Lagoon on this at some point, that having the reserved lounge chairs, like they had a lockbox in the lounge chairs, so we could lock up our stuff and then go in and do whatever and know that our stuff was where we left it. Is a very nice thing. Like so, it makes the water park experience better in my opinion. So if you can get a cabana, like go for it.
Yeah, that's and
20% off, like
makes it affordable. I think.
Yeah, I would. If you're saving money on, again, if you're planning a trip where you're not wanting to spend money in the parks, I would say splurge a little bit more on the water parks if you were getting the season pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The other thing, by the way, you get is a free round of mini golf too. So
sweet.
Yeah,
perfect.
Get a free round of mini golf at either Winter Summerland or Fantasia Gardens. So yeah.
Oh, that's even better. I figured they'd only do Winter Summerland.
I thought so too, but they're doing both. Look at that. So,
all
right, but you have to go before 4 p.m. P.S.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, oh no, I have to play mini golf earlier in the day. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
Tom and I are laughing because we play mini golf so much.
We really do. Well, virtually, but yes, they do.
I mean, if we could, we would go and play real rounds of mini golf together.
That's actually a great segue, though, Trevor, into our next topic.
Speaking of VR.
Speaking of VR, so Disney announced that Disney Plus is now available through the MetaQuest, which is the VR headset that I have. I know it's not the one you use, but you can now get Disney Plus through the MetaQuest. And I kind of want to try this because well, here's the thing. I think anybody that has a VR headset knows a couple things about it. First of all, it's not fun to keep it on your head for 2 hours. No. It's just not. It doesn't feel great after a while. It gets heavy in your head, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel great. But I think it would be kind of cool probably to check out like a Marvel movie or something. I mean, to watch like something like that in VR. Yeah. Cause I've watched other stuff in VR, on the headset. Like I've gone on like YouTube and, watched some stuff like that. And that's pretty cool. Or, like I watched like a space station thing. I did that. It was kind of creepy, but I don't know. It would probably be pretty neat to watch a movie through Disney Plus on there. I just don't know if I would do it, like bother to get my headset out and do this. Now,
I mean,
yeah.
Because it feels like the thing about doing the VR headset is that you can get a simulated movie theater experience, obviously. Like it's very easy to like position it that it's like you're sitting in a theater and you've got the big screen or whatever. But like you said, the problem is that, if your headset's not sitting comfortably, like you can, again, this is where it kind of delves into the, extreme VR hobbyist stuff, is that if like, the default straps are not great. You can get aftermarket straps. You can get additional padding and stuff to like make it comfortable. And I also get it too, like if your home setup is like, my home setup is decent. I don't have like a full theater room. I know you do. Like you've spent a bunch of time setting up a theater room. So it's like the trade-off of like, watching in my home theater versus watching in VR is harder for you because you have that experience, right?
Exactly.
But if you a lot of people do have MetaQuest headsets that, you don't necessarily have, the full theater setup. This does give that opportunity where you can, again, if you're willing to, put up with having the goggles on for a couple of hours, which, I mean, to be fair, we played mini golf for like 2 hours and it's fine. So,
but when you take that thing off, it's like, it's like, whoa, like where was I?
Yeah, there's a minute of like your body is like, whoa, like thank you for getting that off of me. I quit it. I know this won't make sense to people that haven't been skiing, but it's the same thing like when you've had your ski boots on all day and you take them off and your feet just like scream at you for a minute because the boots are tight, right? Like they're there to keep your feet from moving. When you take ski boots off, it's like your body just like immediately relaxes and it's like, and the same thing kind of happens with a headset too. It's like you take it off and your body goes like what were you doing, right?
Yeah. Well, and to your point, why would I do this when I have a home theater? Like I have a whole home theater setup where I can watch these movies on a large screen with surround sound and not have a thing on my head. Like
yeah.
Why would I do it? But I mean, I don't know. It is a little bit of a different experience, to wear the headset as opposed to just watching at a screen. It just, I don't know. It just probably is not worth it for me. But listen, I appreciate that they're doing this. I'll tell you what, Trevor, if they put Muppet Vision 3D on there as an option, I'm there. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. That is one thing, is that there are, like, to your point, there are a lot of things on Disney Plus that aren't necessarily movies, but maybe like you said, Muppet Vision, or like park specific things that you may want to try watching them in VR, because it does, sometimes it does add to the experience, and maybe, and that may be something I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they maybe did something with Muppet Vision and possibly Tough to Be a Bug, because those have both transitioned out of the parks. It'd be interesting if they did them as a VR experience.
Yeah, do Muppet Vision. I mean, don't waste your time on It's Tough to Be a Bug for now.
I was trying to give more reason,
trying to be inclusive.
If they do more than one thing, that they can justify the effort put into it. But then the whole thing about Tough to Be a Bug is like, there because there's the effects going on in the theater. Obviously, you don't get like the physical like things going on, like the stuff at your feet and whatnot. But the whole idea of that is that then you've got like VR spiders coming down out of the roof, which I don't
not
know.
Ideal. That actually might be creepier than the real physical spiders.
I will say we did that one mini golf course that had the spiders, and I felt very uncomfortable in that one. So
that was not a good. No, that was bad. Yeah. It's almost weird because it's creepier in the VR space than it is in a real life space. Because like in real life, you can look at it and go, okay, that's not real, and you can like get away from it. But there's like a certain vulnerability when you have a VR headset on, because you can't actually see your real life peripherals. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I get super paranoid sometimes. I'm like, if someone standing behind me, because especially my wife tried to scare me before. She's like come up behind me and like grab my shoulders or something, and it freaks you out because you have no way of knowing. Like you have no way of knowing someone's coming up on you. So anyway, that's an aside. But listen, I'm all in favor of doing things like this. This is cool.
Yeah, it's and also to the point of right now they're obviously partnering with MetaQuest. There is, for those of us that are enthusiasts of VR, I wouldn't be surprised, or I'm hoping that this is the case, is I don't know if you paid attention to Valve, the company that owns Steam. Announced, so they have a bunch of new hardware coming next year. One of the things is the Steam Frame, which looks like it's going to be a direct competitor to the MetaQuest. So it's going to be a very similar headset. I wouldn't be surprised again, not immediately, but maybe in the future, if Disney Plus is also available on Steam Frame, if Valve does things correctly. I currently have a Valve Index, which is like the older version of this headset that they have coming out. So I hope that this is maybe leading into, maybe Disney doing more stuff with VR. Cause like you said, it's not that I like want a bunch of VR stuff, but I definitely appreciate the option to, sometimes I do want to watch something in VR. Like I can see the merits for it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and Disney, and we didn't talk about this because it happened, during. This has been announced a couple times, but they are partnering with Disney Meta is to integrate their software into the smart glasses too, into the to their glasses that they have now. I forget what they're called. I'm forgetting off the top of my head. So that when you're walking around the parks, instead of like breaking out the app, you can just do everything in your glasses. That's the idea.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not buying those, so no thanks. I'm good on the glasses, thanks. Yeah, I know.
Okay, we have one last thing on here, so I think we can just touch on this quickly, and then we can wrap it up today.
We can finish her up. Okay.
So apparently, the title says live action Gaston movie with new actor in development. So I guess
they're going to make a series. There was going to be there's a series, right?
The original thing was back from the Beauty and Beast movie was done back in 2017, And I'm just looking at this article here that you put in. Luke Evans played Gaston in that one.
And he's great in that role. He did a really nice job.
But it sounds like, so there was a Disney Plus prequel series planned that, they were going to have a lot of the actors from the movie in it, but then that got canceled. Apparently they're looking at starting a new movie. So like continuing that same like live action thing. I'm assuming this would be, obviously a prequel movie for Gaston. But it says Deadline. So Deadline, I guess, covered this, and they state the movie will be completely new and original with a new actor and swashbuckling tones.
Okay.
Let's think about that for a second. So Gaston, obviously he's got that like, adventurous air about him. Like, like clearly he was a hunter and did all that stuff. I wouldn't call him swashbuckling. I mean, that makes it sound like it would be a lighthearted thing. And I can't imagine a Gaston movie where I guess the hard part is like, it sounds like they're trying to position this the same as like Maleficent, where it's like a retelling of a story like this, where like Maleficent ended up, the premise of the movie was like, she was misunderstood, right? Like it was, the Sleeping Beauty movies tell it from the angle of Sleeping Beauty, and just make Maleficent out to be, she's just a flat out villain. The Maleficent movies kind of twist around the other way, where it's like, hey, she did some bad things, but you kind of see where, not everybody, it kind of leads into like everybody's the bad guy at the end of the day. Like nobody was nice in those movies, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So a Gaston movie, I'm like, okay, like he wasn't a nice guy to begin with, and I don't see how they can twist this into like making him like the center of the movie without it just being like, yeah, Gaston's being a jerk, just in more situations.
I mean,
right?
If they don't make this a funny movie, this should be a comedy. Like, to me, like this should be a comedy. Like, I don't think you have to like highlight the womanizing part of Gaston. Like, there could be a lot of funny stuff with Gaston. He was kind of I mean, listen, the whole character in the parks is funny, right? Like that's true. That's his whole thing. Yeah. And listen, this guy that's writing this also wrote Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which was a very good movie. Okay. Shang-Chi, which again, also really good movie. He did also write some stinkers like Wonder Woman 1984, which I didn't like, and I believe bombed pretty hard. And he did all the Expendables movies, which I didn't see. But if it keeps that kind of like ridiculousness,
lightheartedness to it, I guess that's fair. As long as the movie doesn't take itself,
if it doesn't take itself seriously, I think it could be fun. Like if it takes itself seriously, it's not gonna be fun. Like I think it needs to be. I think it'll be good if they don't take themselves seriously, like you're saying.
Well, and so I guess, like I said, that the tone immediately where they're saying it's going to have a swashbuckling tone. I was imagining like Gaston, but like taking on like an air of like Jack Sparrow. But then I was like, Jack Sparrow's not. He's not a nice person either. Like if you really think about it, he's not a nice person. But yeah, his bravado and whatnot makes it, it makes it that you can like love him for all of his goofiness and kind of ignore all the other stuff. But the hard part for me is that
it's an anti-hero.
The hard part for me is that like Gaston is already like clearly established as like there is nothing nice about this guy whatsoever. And I think the hard part for me is like, Sleeping Beauty, I watched those movies as a kid, and Maleficent was like, or I didn't, the personality of Maleficent wasn't there. It was just very much like antagonistic beats at certain points.
Yeah.
Whereas Gaston, you really get to see his personality. And like, for me, it's Beauty and the Beast at like, that childhood memory of it still sticks for me, that I'm like, he was a jerk, but like on a different level. And so I have an immediate aversion to like, I'm not going to like anything you have to say about this guy. So,
that's fair. That's fair.
But that's not like, yeah, you're right. The hard part is they're telling a whole new story. And so you do have to kind of suspend your previous ideas of what the character is and everything going into it, which is sometimes hard. When they're dealing with an established IP, but writing an entirely new narrative around it, it is hard to do that. So I'm curious how this one will play out, because yeah, like you said, the person writing it, could go either way. So
yeah, I mean they've done several action movies, and they've done, but and a Marvel movie, and I mean, so there's some opportunity here. We'll see if it actually even happens. You never know if these things are the prequel got canceled. So
yeah, but Gaston he does keep resurfacing though as a character, right? Like you said, like people like him in the parks. He does. He's
an anti-hero. You shouldn't like him, but you kind of do.
yeah. His charisma definitely has a big pull on his character.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that wraps us up for the year, Trevor. What? Go ahead.
Sorry, I just laughed. This article that you sent on the side, there was an ad that said Santa Gertie inflatable now available.
Oh, I know. I almost bought it when I was writing this.
So that made me laugh.
It's $150 though, man. That's a lot of money. I don't want to buy that.
And it's an inflatable. I wouldn't buy.
I got lots of inflatable. And I mean, I've got lots of inflatables around my house. So I have no problem with the inflatable part. I also don't necessarily want to give money to this particular website, but that's neither here nor there.
That's fair too. So,
yeah.
Sorry, I just saw that and it was just funny that I was like, oh, Tom could get a Santa Gertie.
Yeah, trust me, I kind of want it. Don't get me wrong, I kind of do, but I'm not going to get it.
Fair enough. All right, do we want to call it here for the year?
Yeah, let's call it. Yeah, that's been a 2025.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks everyone for joining us on the ride through 2025. It's been an interesting year.
That's for sure.
And yeah, and I think we're in a good place though, and looking forward to what happens in 2026. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very curious to see what happens next. So love that. But hey, if you have your own things that you want to share about the show, if you have stories, if you have questions, any of that kind of stuff, you can always find us at our email address, which is welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. So, even though we're going to be gone here for a week, and going into the new year, you can still email us. We won't, we won't ignore your emails. So,
I mean, I might accidentally ignore them, but still email us though. I always respond eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll still, we're still here. We're still doing stuff, and we are still on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. We are still on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast, and we're still on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. So, check us out on any of those places for social media if you want to follow us, or just keep track on things that we're doing. We also have a Facebook group, Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where we talk about all kinds of things from the show, and there's great conversations and people sharing their own trip reports. So again, if you just want to share your own stuff, by all means, we love hearing other people's view on Disney. Everything we talked about on the show is just how we see things. We're not experts by any means, and we love hearing what you guys think about it too. So, please check us out on any of our social media platforms. As Tom mentioned earlier, we do have a store, and we do have merch in the store. So, if you want to buy any of our current merch in the store, it's store.welcomehomepodcast.co. And, we will be looking to add some more stuff to the store. So, make sure you keep that in mind. If, hopefully we can get some things up there, like the logo that was done for the Christmas episode, food time, all that kind of stuff. So, it is coming. Just, keep an eye out. The store is there. Similarly, we also have a Patreon. So, the Patreon is just another means of us helping to support running the show. So you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod and check out our different levels of Patreon support, which Patreon supporters get an exclusive logo that we don't have on the main store. So you can only get it on Patreon. And all of our Patreon supporters get access to the Discord server, which, as we talked about, we sometimes preview stuff early. So, for people that hearing the new opening to the show. That's actually, Tom put that out on Discord because we wanted feedback on it. So yeah, if you're interested in, catching, sometimes catching early previews of things, but then also just more conversation about things from the show, have a look at Patreon and, see about getting access to the Discord server. And last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere where you can get the show, leave us a 5-star review. Just for the sake of us continuing to get the show out there to people going into 2026. And just keeping the internet algorithm happy, because it's like a little Tamagotchi and you got to feed it.
My daughter's going to get a Tamagotchi for Christmas. I'm so excited for her to get that. It's going to be awesome.
Do you have a program so you can like put 5 stars in and it rates the podcast?
I need to get some bots going for that. I need to do that.
No, we don't use bots. We just that's a joke. We don't use bots.
If we use bots, we'd probably be more popular. Truthfully,
that's true. We would be a lot more popular.
We're a lot higher ranked than we are.
Be a lot of bots telling us how amazing we are, but we don't want that.
We don't want to do that.
People to actually enjoy the show. So, like I said, if you enjoy the show, leave us a 5-star review. Just again, it helps us get out there to more people. You can write us a review on iTunes and let us know what you think about the show as well. We love hearing what you guys think about the show. So yeah, that's all the things, for wrapping up 2025 that's all the things that I just needed to say right there. So I think I'm done for the year.
That's the end of your script. Don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any podcast app that's out there. You can find us. Just look for the Disney one, the DVC one, the ones with the fun logos that we've been doing. That's us. So, if you want to listen on any of those platforms, you can do so. And also, any of our video episodes are available on YouTube and Spotify and all those fun places. So actually, it's on Apple too. You can watch the video stuff. So, but huge thank you to our sponsors this year and really pretty much every year since we've been around. DVC Rental Store and World of DVC, who are just the best, and we will continue to talk great things about them. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion and, of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
To a house when we had a chair, how she can cuddle is no man's affair. I look around for fold of hope, found her in her sugar bowl. Look out, here comes my ball and chain.